Welcome to episode 4 of the Comix Zone. Might be a short one again tonight. I want to keep the slower pace we did last time we did this. I noticed in the first two episodes, I really ripped through a lot of stuff all at once, really, really quickly. Um, so I want to take more time with all this stuff, actually delve through it a little more. I got a whole smorgasbord of stuff for us. I've got stuff from a bunch of different events I've been at. I want I want to check this stuff out over the next few weeks, though. Probably throughout the month of July. But first, as we occasionally do on this channel, we're gonna start with flagrant self-promotion. Here's some of my stuff. So I've got a friend by the name of Shane who comes up with these really great ideas for artwork for t-shirts and hoodies or bunny hugs where I come from. Spara, how are you? Your stuff is next. Spoiler alert, Spara. You're gonna see more about Spara in a minute. Right after this flagrant self-promotion. So my friend Shane, I'm gonna find his Threadless store. He sent me a link to it. And of course, being a hack and a fraud that I am, I have not written down where to find his Threadless store. Let's find it. Let's find it, because I should probably give some promotion, not just to myself. This stuff all started in the brain, at least the concepts of these things started in the brain of my friend Shane Wallman. So he would come to me and say, I got this idea for something. In some cases, like Soul Wave here, this is one of my favorites that we've done. This idea of this triangular thing with the sunset in it and something to do with waves and sky above it started as a sketch that he had. Then we iterated and iterated and iterated, and we finally came to this where we've got this awesome like star field that goes around it, this caption that he came up with called Soul Wave. We got ourselves a little happy. That's never gonna. I mean, oh, is it? If I put my finger there, sometimes it'll say, yeah, there we go. Look, there's a little UFO there. He loves stuff like UFOs, surf culture. That's where we also had this idea of the weekend. You may have seen me a few times. I'm going to exit stage left. There's a good chance you may have seen me on some streams, especially anytime it is the weekend. I like to wear my the weekend mint green hooded sweatshirt with this artwork on it. So the great news is I'm going to be doing more stuff for Shane in the future. This is probably between Soul Wave and Waves to Stars. These are my two favorites. This one, once again, kind of riffs on the idea. We got a happy little UFO in amongst the stars, hiding amongst the stars above this beautiful bit of wave stuff. And then, like I said, Shane really loves surf culture. So we did this really cool wave, better than sex, riding the half pipe. Now, I've never surfed in my life. I can't balance for shit, but I like this stuff quite a bit. We got to kind of use the pan colors in here, which was cool for me. I was like, that's a nice little Easter egg for me. I know. So I actually had my physio guy. I was wearing my weekend. I have a shirt as well. It says the weekend has this stuff on it, and he goes, "Is that for the band? Is that for the guy?" And I was like, "No, it's not. No, I could see how you got confused by that." But yeah, I'm super happy with all these. So these are stickers that Shane has started doing. So we've got some. We're doing some stickers now with this stuff. So the great news, like I said, is Shane has more ideas for this stuff. So we're going to be doing more over the next coming weeks and months. I think he's just sent me his newest concepts in email yesterday. So I'll be taking a look at that stuff as we go. So let me see if I can find, boy, I don't know if I have the Threadless store queued up anywhere, but let's find it. Let's find it. That's what this is all about, is giving people the due that they need. So I can turn off the flagrant self-promotion because I'm not going to promote myself just yet. Let's find, oh my gosh, there's a little, I guess I did just promote myself. Let's just, whoop, pull that off there. Okay, let's find, I'm going to put on, this is kind of how it goes, guys. It's going to be a little sloppy today. It's going to be a little sloppy. Okay, let's find Mr. Shane. Here we go. Check this out. That's the design I did. That's the better than sex. It's on Threadless. Link is in his bio. Let's take a look on Shane's bio and see if we can find. Look at this. Waves to Stars Artist Shop. So the cool thing about this is Shane's store. I told him, hey, this is your show, man. You do it. And I'll keep providing art for you because I've wanted to do an apparel store for years and years. But when I do, I'll probably do it on my own. But I love doing this stuff for Shane because he's got, he's thinking of things that I wouldn't think of doing. And we're coming up with some really cool designs. So you can get stickers or magnets. I know that he is also looking at all sorts of other stuff. And we're going to be doing tons of things. So like there's Waves Stars. You can get like t-shirts, tank tops, pullovers, zip-ups. Look at all this stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And Shane's actually doing it. I've been talking about doing this thing for something like this for years. But Shane is doing it. And it's cool stuff. If you like, like I said, I don't even surf, but I like the idea. I like surf culture. I like that kind of look and feel of things. I like to be a little chill if I can just chill out a little bit. So yeah, here's the link. I'm gonna put it. If you wanted to follow this, so it's wavestostars.threadless.com. That's where you go. You could check out all this stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. So yeah. Do that. That's all the things. There's even more. There's more on the store. Okay. Flagrant self-promotion over. Let's move on. I'm excited about this one, folks. This was a very lovely art and zine exchange that I did with someone you may or may not know by the name of Spera Era. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. So awesome. I sent my crummy little zines, and then Spera sent me, my God, screen prints and color prints, and even drummed up this amazing zine they were a part of in their high school. I've done a little bit of redaction here and there, but yeah, from back in the 90s. Like, look at this stuff. Really cool. Let's make sure that I get Spera's information into the Spera_era is where you want to go for that. So Spera Era is an amazing artist and is very it's actually, you'll probably recognize the tape. It's from you. It's from the stuff you sent. I was like, this painter's tape is perfect. I don't have to come up with anything else. I'm a hack and a fraud, and I'm very lazy. So, believe it or not, this is according to Spera's information on the Instagram. If you wanted to follow with that, this is one of their very early art projects, and it's this beautiful, like, there's beautiful stippling and an amazing line work for this beautiful mouse portrait. So amazing. Like, I'll tell you, back in the 90s I was not drawing anything nice like this. And this is a cool zine because it's a bunch of classmates who got together and have essays and poems and artwork. It's so cool. So cool. I love this. I love this. But that's not all. That's not all. Yeah, the great thing about that tape square is I checked it out. I did like a test and it's not going to hurt the paper, so I can take it off after. Look at this. Look at this amazing artwork. So there's a cool, like, and this is actually screen printed. This is actually, I love running my hands over real screen printing because you can feel where the ink is over the paper. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. This is beautiful. And my cats were going fucking insane for these because they have a little bit of that stuff that's been printed with ink, has just a hint of a nice smell to it. My cats were going crazy. I was like pulling their faces off of this stuff. Look at that. This beautiful like color work, and then the black ink put over top of it. So awesome. And then these beautiful, beautiful color works that they were doing as well. Some horses, or a horse, pardon me, and orangutan with its baby orangutan. Yeah, oh boy, Jerry, I am a freak for printing. Like I'm an old school print designer. Look at these elephants. They're in love. I'm an old school print designer, so I am used to doing lots of like having stuff printed, and then back in my day it was printed with like some pretty like oil-based inks and stuff, and you'd get your box of like catalogs or whatever I'd be get printed, like whatever the thing is, and then before I take it to the client, I'd open it up and I just stick my nose over the edge of the box and just smell all the printing, and before I take my own copies out. Just because nowadays everything's water-based, so you don't quite get the same, but boy, back in my day, you were soaking that stuff up. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, I think these are birch trees, is that right? That looks like a birch tree to me. Yeah, vinyl, same way. All that, anything that's created with petroleum products, you just want to inhale and just get that little bit of the zing, right? Yeah. Anytime you open the vinyl, or like, anything that's made from like wax or rubber or something petroleum based, it's very good. So please follow Spera. Follow Spera. They're very nice. And I'm also going to do just a touch more flagrant self-promotion. Is, like I mentioned, Spera don't live in Alberta. Spera does not live where I live. But what we did was we did an exchange through the mail. So, I don't know. When I consider what I got sent versus what I sent, I feels like I committed international mail fraud. But I'm very happy with what I got. I hope they're happy with what they got. It feels like a very lopsided trade. But yeah. If anybody out there would love to get some of their stuff showcased here on the beautiful Doradus Star Cluster desk pad, hit me up. I would love to do zine trades or artwork trades with absolutely anybody. So let me just quickly throw my information on there as well. So follow Spera Era to start, and then you can hit me up on Instagram or send me an email with these two hands at gmail.com. I will trade zines anywhere in the world with anyone who wants to do it. So if you know anybody who is an artist, yeah, you could send me a page of handwritten jokes, and I'd be happy to send you my crummy zines in return. I'm happy to do exchanges of just about anything that can legally be sent through the mail. Okay. And if you know anybody who does comics or zines and would love to be showcased on a very middling Twitch channel, send them my way. Absolutely. Writing and everything else, that's all art. I always, when I go and I do these zine shows and there's all this cool stuff, And people are like, the joke was always, when I started doing comics with my collaborator, the joke was always, when you go to one of these things, the same $20 bill gets passed around the room. From, I'll go buy something from somebody, and then they'll go and they'll buy something for someone else, and the same $20 would move around the room. So I've been trying to change that culture. So in the past year, I've been, every time I'm at one of these, I run around the very first day and I say, will you do a trade? Keep your money in your pocket. What we create, this stuff that we make, this is money. This is legal tender. So keep your money in your pocket. On the last day of the show, whatever you got left and whatever I got left, let's just trade everything. And it's catching on. You should see the things I've been going to, like, it seems like it caught on very quickly. So, and I recommend that you know, I've even had, I had somebody come to me at a zine show and said, I don't really have much in the way of the money, but I've got some artwork I've done. And we did some trades right there at the table. And it was so cool. I'm like, yeah, keep your money. I want art. If someone's making art, I want your art. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Jerry. Reach out. Reach out. Because I would love to, I'd love to showcase stuff from independent scenes anywhere. The whole thing here is that we celebrate this beautiful stuff that's being made. Okay, let's jump into our next one here. Now, I've talked about Trevor Geisky once before. I also, in the latest show I was at in June of this year, that was that panel one that we've done a few things of. I got a new piece from him, and I kept it in my back pocket because I wanted to show it alongside what I picked up last year from Trevor, which was called Murder Bag. Let me quickly throw Trevor's information up on the screen. I want to make sure I spell it right. It goes, his one is called Cosmic Amazing. Got it. There we go. So you'll find Trevor's work if you go to Instagram and check out at Cosmic Amazing. This guy's awesome. His stuff is so cool. Okay. So Murder Bag is this really great little thing. The thing that was so cool, and what I love about this like culture of small self-published works, was this was from panel 1 in 2022. October, I think it was October of 2022 or thereabouts. Thanks, Jerry. Good to see ya. Have a good sleep. And definitely pick up some zines next time you're in your shop and hit me up. Is Trevor got there and he assembled these on site at the show we were at. And he was selling them as quickly as he could make them because it's a really cool little piece. So let's take a look at Murder Bag. As you can see, there's a bag full of some nefarious things. So Murder Bag tells the story of this couple who are the lady is kind of being begrudgingly taken along on a hike, and they come across a murder bag, 100% a murder bag, change of clothes, old rope, a gun, and a bone saw. And so they start talking about, well, what the hell are we going to do? Now that we found this stuff, what do we do? Like, if we're lucky, it's somebody screwing around. If we're unlucky, there's a psychopath who's going to be coming back for this stuff. So they go back and forth kind of arguing about what the hell should we do. And the lady just wants to get back to her bottle of Shiraz. So yeah, they do decide in the end that they're going to pick up the bag and take it with them and call the sheriff. And I don't know if that's a great idea. I don't even know what I do. That's what I love about this one, is it asks the sort of impossible question of what the hell would you do if you came across this thing? And meanwhile, somebody is coming up Someone's coming up the trail. So there will be a second part of this, I believe, at some point. Trevor says, never know. I think there will be. And then there's a bonus page of another little funny conversation that's had. Let's take a quick look through that. So he said, "What do you want to eat for lunch?" "Oh, I don't know. Cigarettes and coffee." "That's not a lunch. We should eat food." "Ugh, you're such a nag. Why do you want to eat?" "I think we should have sandwich and soup." "Nah, I'm trying to eat less bread." "How about tacos and tortilla soup?" "What's with you and soup? I'm just not into soup." "There's a new sushi place around the corner." "No, I had that yesterday." "Our favorite Indian um, place, some paneer tikki masala would be really good." They're closed for lunch, remember? Last time we went Indian? "Oh yeah, what did we do last time?" "We had cigarettes and coffee till dinner time." I love that. It's, he's really good at having like two cynical people go at each other. Yeah, Info has shown me the stuff that he's done from, I think they're actually from the 80s and spanning into the 90s. Awesome stuff. He showed me on his stream some of those. I should see if he's willing to part with some. Even if he parts with some and I send them back to him. But yes, there's definitely, I think, two VODs that Infozar will have where he's shown me some of the zines on his stream between magic tricks. Okay, and now this piece here. This is a preview of the next one that Trevor's doing, called Little Shop of Plants. And it's it is it the same people as before? I don't think it is. It might be if the one guy's grown his hair a little bit. Yeah, they might be the same couple from before. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But anyways, two people coming into a plant shop. And then they found the body in the backyard. Whoa, seriously? Yeah, it's so messed up. Then they get freaked out. "Oh, sorry. I was just talking about a documentary I was watching. I'm looking for a plant I can't kill." So that's a one-page preview of the next thing that Trevor's doing. I like Trevor's stuff. Trevor's also a hell of a guy, a gentleman and a scholar, and a pretty rad dude. So that's Murderbag. Yeah, I'm slowly building a zine library. I'm getting there. It's everything I've shown on these streams I've picked up in just the last year. So it's amazing. I was talking to one of the people at the zine show I did in May, and they said they have a zine library of like several thousand pieces, I think it is. And they've had people approach them and say, we want to buy that to have that catalog, and so far they have resisted. Okay, here's a few different ones. I picked these ones up at the Edmonton Comic Expo. Something that's really special to me about these ones here, and they're by an artist by the name of Kay Hogan, who you can follow at, put it on the screen here, at Kay Hogan Arts. The thing I like about this, and I think I have one other little thing for Kay. Let me see if I've got it in the box here. I've got one other little thing kicking around here somewhere. If I can't find it, we'll just move on. Nope, can't find it. That's fine. So the cool thing about Kay's stuff is this was really early. Yeah, it does look like I'm dealing cards. These are little 8-page mini zines. This is my favorite way people zine are these little mini ones. The cool thing about these ones, and why I find these ones very special to me, is this was back when I was just starting out doing the collaboration with my collaborator Gord, our Genki Comics. I hadn't yet been doing any personal zines. And when I saw Kay's stuff, it really sparked in me like, oh boy, I should be doing little projects like this. And this one in particular, this one's very special to me. The most abridged Hamlet I can think of. This is the direct inspiration for the movies in eight mini pages zines that I do. So my Die Hard, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Blade Runner, and the other ones that I'll be doing. This is the direct inspiration for that. Was Kay's work where they took Hamlet and cut it down to these really cool, just 8-page quick vignettes of particular scenes from that movie. So Hamlet going crazy after seeing the ghost of his father. Here's the play. And then stabbing Pontius through the tree, or through the curtain, pardon me. Ophelia just goes crazy and just slips into some water and dies. And then everybody's dead. Everybody gets dead. And Fortinbras showing up and being like, what the? So I love this. So I love these because yeah, this was a big one for me. And when I started making my zines, my movie zines, I reached out to Kay and sent her copies of everything I had done, because I want to thank them for that. So Kay's other stuff that I've got are so they're a part of a sketch club, or they were of the Grand Prairie Sketch Club in 2021-22. I believe Kay is now based out of Edmonton. But here's other ones. Yeah, so these are sketch club pieces that they did. So they did this one in Grand Prairie. Must have done a little bit of traveling around Alberta and did these beautiful sketches in different places in Alberta. I don't even know where some of these are, like Harlack Park. I will assume. Oh yeah, you like the full page art in the movie zines? Yeah, I love that. And those have been fun because that seems pretty novel. I don't think when I show people that, they go, oh, I could do stuff on the inside of that 8-page mini zine, because most people don't do anything in there. So yeah, so Kay is a multidisciplinary artist. You know, there's painting, there's drawing. They do some stuff that's more like larger stuff. I've got a couple of things. I've got a couple of larger pieces where Kay has taken I think these start off as, you see, there's some Inktober's in here. I think some of the stuff might also be web comics that eventually get put in as a compendium. Yeah, doing these webtoons. Yeah, so Kay Hogan is really talented. We'll get back to this one at some point. I've got a few of the longer form stuff on my shelf in the back, and we'll eventually go through that. This was also during the whole coming out of COVID stuff, so there's some cool COVID zine stuff as well, like their quarantine schedule that kept them just a little bit sane. Doing some food, doing your workout, trying to find time for projects, and have a little social time. Get some nice food, and then stare at the ceiling for a while feeling very depressed. Yeah, so that's cool. And these beautiful fish drawings. Look at those. Once again, showing off that it's, drawing, there's painting, all sorts of things. Beautiful stuff. There's a carp. Shout out to Mother of Carp. There's the cat from Fat Cat Life. Yeah, you usually doing full color on zines like this is not super economical. That's why I stick to black and white, because I just want these things to be as cheaply produced as possible. Partially because Gord and I, for all of our stuff, we do a pay what you want system. So I want to keep our overhead as small as possible, so that when somebody comes to me and they're like, I've got $1, I'm like, take a piece of art. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It would be harder to do with lots of like super, higher end full color stuff. And here's some cool stuff, some sketches from nude model sessions at Harcourt House. Nothing, nothing too wild here though. We're not getting, this isn't crazy nudes. So Twitch, take it easy. I can say the word nude. Yeah, cool. I haven't done nude study drawing since college. It was always pretty cool to do, because you know, you get yourself past the idea that there's a naked person in front of you, and then you just start seeing like how the human body's put together, which is kind of cool. So that's Kay Hogan. That's I've got more stuff from Kay that we'll touch on in further episodes of the Comix Zone. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're ripping through this stuff. I want to touch on some other stuff that I picked up. A smattering of stuff here, maybe even a bit more. I don't want to get through all of this though. If we make it, say, as far as this, that's probably pretty good. Let's see if how much we can take our time on some of this. Okay, Kira Walls. Kira is so cool. So Kira's got a couple of things going on. I want to make sure that I show both things. Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be confusing. This first Insta handle has 4 underscores in it. So I'll just put that out there right now, that it's Kira underscore 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 W. But this is maybe easier. They also do a really cool apparel imprint called Aggressively Soft Studios. So if you just check out at Aggressively Soft Studios, you'll get to see some cool stuff. They do some really cool work there. Yeah, Kira is awesome. One thing I thought was also really cool is Kira and I were talking. We met at a zine market in 2022, and we were talking a bunch because I was super interested to see that Kira was based in Japan for a good amount of time. So their business card actually shows a scene from a window in Japan, from a train window, I believe. And I think I ought to tell you, I think I want you to know, has some characters down the side that of course I can't read. I assume it says the same, but what do I know? So a really beautiful piece. Kira is awesome in that they put themselves right out there. They wear their heart on their sleeve, so to speak. Just beautiful photography. Look at these pieces. And interspersing the organic human with inorganic order and structure, which I think is super cool. Just really wonderfully put together, and a really wonderful eye for light and contour and shadow. And yeah, just not being afraid to really do some fun things with composition. Look at that. That's such an interesting photograph. 2 focal points is all it has. But it's quite interesting, right? So yeah, there is content warning for this one. That it does talk about suicide and self-harm. So we won't go through it too much. But just so you know, there's um, like I said, Kira is really cool. Um, I believe that all of the Japanese stuff is translation of the English that is provided. Because this was something that they actually self-produced while working in Japan. So it does have English and Japanese. So, like I said, Kira is amazing in that they wear their heart right on their sleeve and go right into um, talking very frankly and very candidly about thoughts of self-harm. Um, Talking about how, you know, Tokyo is a town that has um, a history of suicide. You know, this passage here talks about um, how jumping in front of trains was sort of a way that a lot of people were completing suicide back before they started putting safety doors on and things like that. So yeah, there's and interspersed among some really just beautiful photographs that you know, are contemplative, show their environment that they're in, and it's a really powerful work. And I'm so thankful that I met Kira. I hope I will have another show with them again in the future, because I'd love to talk to them further about this piece, which is very awesome. I'd love to see what work they're doing now. Yeah, it's powerful, introspective, candid, frank, and really moving. It talks about the journey that they took. Yeah, just good stuff. Just really, really good stuff. There they are showing their medication. Here, I'll read this passage. Actually, I'm gonna read the passage I just passed. I'm gonna read this one out. I started taking my medication when I started to move here. Whenever someone asks me how I've been doing recently, I always tell them, great, I started taking antidepressants and moved into my own apartment. My friend hit the nail on the head when she said that this apartment is now only associated with good health and happy memories. I remember the day I moved most of my stuff in. The medication has just started to work. It was February 14th. I remember this because it was Valentine's Day. I was mildly euphoric, exhausted but euphoric. Everything felt light. Yeah, so it's just like wonderfully written, wonderful chronicle. Very cool. It's a good piece. I think Kira's actually doing a really cool stint on, I think, an Alberta farm at the moment. I've seen some things in the last several months pop up on the Instagram on the few occasions I care to look at it, of them experiencing some really cool stuff on a farm, on a nice rural farm. Which is good. I want people to have good experiences on farms. I grew up on a farm, and it's fine. Fine. I don't have much else to add. Okay, this is a neat one. So, Kim Huber, unfortunately, I do not have any contact information for them. I don't think they are on social media. But the cool thing about this, I think this is a really neat piece. I was able to pick this up. So unfortunately, I do not have any way for you to follow and support this creator, but I want to show this anyways. What I thought was so cool about this is she self-published a series of zines. I think she had 3 or 4 at the time. Very much based around astrology, because they've been reading astrology charts for like 30 years. So this is really cool because I've never known very much about astrology other than a general, interest in the zodiac. I'm an Aries, by the way, if you haven't noticed. You might have noticed. I'm a bit loud, a bit quick to anger, a bit of a stubborn prick. That's the way it goes. So this is cool because, what Kim is doing here is giving you a step-by-step guide on how to actually read your astrology chart, which is something I've never done. Something I still haven't done, but I've looked through this and been like, I should do that. So yeah, it all started with that beautiful magical time and place that you explored, that you exploded forth on your trajectory at birth, setting in motion the universal energies, your blueprint that will guide you for life. So you are here on Earth, a magnificent speck in the universe. The sky surrounds you. The moon, sun, planets, and asteroids too are all around you. I'm not sure. Yeah, I need to actually go through. Oh, did you guessed it, Mapricot? Nice to see you, by the way, Mapricot. How are you? The awe-inspiring starry constellations are beautifully, cozily wrapped around you, around us in our solar system. There I am. The chart/sky is divided into 12 parts called houses. The size of each house may vary depending on the latitude and longitude of where you were born and the different house systems that astrologers use. Each house represents a part of your life where the action takes place. Yeah, I should actually figure this stuff out because I am I'm Aries, and I was born under a waxing gibbous moon in Capricorn, I believe. Ah, you like the IHOP spellings? Yeah, cursive is a lost art that I hope is coming back. See, this is probably where I stopped. Alert, math is ahead. At some point, I'll do the math. At some point, I will do the triangulations of where and how it was. But so cool. So yeah, it steps through like how to determine what house you were born in, what other aspects kind of, if you believe in astrology, would sort of guide your life and your actions and things about you. When you put it all together for a lifetime of discovery and curiosity about your unique personality, the date, the time, the place, you are unique in the universe. I only have a vague understanding of what time of day I was born in. I might have to try and double check that stuff. But yeah, your birth time and your birth location also matters. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think astrology is neat. I've never put a lot into it other than, like I said, a passing interest in the zodiac and seeing how it, I can look at somebody and guess their sign when I think about it. Like my mother-in-law, also an Aries, because I recognize all the things. Because I'm like, oh, I do that. Oh, yeah, I do that. Well, we're both very stubborn, hard-headed people. So my partner puts up with a lot. Let's just say that. So there you go. I don't know. It's just so cool. I want to. I'd like to do my chart at some point and just because it'd be cool to see because a lot of this stuff it kind of works out that you look at it and you say, well, you could apply this stuff to most people. You can make it fit, right? But I've always been amazed how often, especially with zodiac signs, like we're saying, I can look at somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, you're you're a Leo, all right." Oh boy. Okay. Oh, this next one's really neat. This one's by Mouse. Mouse Brown. Super nice person. Mouse Brown is very cool. I really like this one. Um, let me see. Let me find Mouse. Let's see if I've got Mouse. Yes, the mausoleum is where you will find Mouse Brown. Very cool person. They describe themselves as just a spooky little rodent. So, Mapricot, you would enjoy this person. Uh, Not a rat per se, but they identify with the other rodents. And what I really like about this is a zine. So sometimes what I like about zines is not only when they entertain you or show you something, an interesting story, but when they can be a guide, like that astrology one. Like that's stuff I was never gonna figure out on my own. So I got this beautiful guide, right? This one here is great. It's called Androgyny. It's a zine about non-binary identity. So as somebody who, I reckon, I'm a white male, born as male, identify with male. I am I am pan, but recently found that out in the last few years. Um, you know, this is the kind of thing that's great because it tells you something that you might, like I still make dumb mistakes when it comes to gender and sexual identity. I think I still make stupid mistakes, even with myself trying to be as um, cognizant of that as possible. But this is just one of those great zines that just like lays it out there for you. It's like everything you wanted to know about being non-binary, but we're too chicken shit to ask. Talks about androgyny, being non-binary, and then it's what's on the inside that counts, unless you look wrong, it says. So, what does looking wrong mean? Most people understand that being cis, someone whose gender aligns with their assigned sex at birth, isn't tied to how you dress, yet many people seem to believe you have to look androgynous to be non binary. One common image people have of non binary people is a thin, white person who was assigned female at birth with short hair and a flat chest. And so it dispels, this dispels a lot of those like silly antiquated ideas that society has around people with a non-binary identity. So I love this because it just you know reminds you of things and informs you of things that you'd probably be too afraid to ask, um, for fear of getting it wrong or making someone upset, right? So here are 5 things you can do to be a better ally. Number 1, use a name a person asks you to use. Names are often associated with gender, and many transgender and non-binary people choose a new name or a variation of their old name in order to align with their identity. However, legally changing your name can be expensive, time-consuming, and inaccessible. Whether their name has been legally changed or not, you can support trans and non-binary people within your life by referring to them by their chosen name. Never ask what their old or real name was. That's none of your business. Number 2, don't assume. If you're not sure what pronoun someone uses, ask. It's always better to confirm with the individual rather than make assumptions, and shows that you respect their identity, even if it's in regards to a person you dislike. Many non-binary people use singular they pronouns. Some use he or she pronouns to refer themselves, and some use even more obscure pronouns, and some don't use pronouns at all. I love this little thing here. Learning these things isn't excessive. Political correctness, it's being a decent person. I love that. You know, It's the conversation, we're having these huge conversations about this sort of stuff. Like people are latching, bad actors are latching onto people's gender and sexual identities and trying to weaponize it. So I love this because it's made by somebody who is from the community, and they just say none of this stuff is like, none of this stuff is being woke, none of this stuff is being politically correct. It's just being a nice person. Just be nice. Number 3, and I love this one. Slip ups happen. Correct yourself. Mistakes happen, and that's okay. However, if you make a mistake and apologize, it brings attention to the mistake and also puts pressure on the individual who was misgendered to forgive you. If someone wants an apology, they may ask for one in private, but in the moment, it's best not to draw attention to your mistake. If someone else corrects you, thank them and move on. Yeah, it's often good. Yeah, and I still find myself making mistakes constantly, even though I think about this stuff constantly. We have turns of phrase that I I've been saying, instead of saying, "Hey, nice to see you guys," I've been saying, "Nice to see you folks," or something to that effect for years. That's been something I made a conscious change to, but I still slip up and slip back into that gender turn of phrase from time to time. And you just gotta try to be better and be as good as you can and forgive yourself. Number 4, correct others. If you catch someone else making a mistake, interrupt them with just a quick correction. Yes, every time. It not only sets a good precedent for others to follow, it also lifts the burden off of trans and non-binary folks to constantly defend themselves. Getting into the habit of correcting other people also helps make it easier for when you catch yourself when you make a mistake. And they put a quick addendum here that every time, unless someone hasn't come out or isn't comfortable with people knowing outside of their friend group. Don't out people in doing it. My arm keeps disappearing. Which one's disappearing? I didn't notice. I'll do that. I'll keep it moving. Oh yeah, it does disappear. It's part of it is so here, my face should be disappearing. There's a camera right here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening. So my downwards facing camera, this thing's very smart. It knows to cut that out. But if I get myself in the middle of it, yeah. And so it's just a trick of, so I'm in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera. In front of the camera, behind the camera. Don't be scared. Number 5, listen and learn. Guilt and shame are uncomfortable feelings, and listening to people we've hurt, intentionally or not, can be a really difficult thing to do. However, willingness to learn encourages growth. Treat it as a learning experience. The most authentic apology is meaningless if there is no change or if the behavior is repeated consistently in the future. Show you care by doing better next time. Every challenge represents a chance to do better. And then they give some really good further places you can look. The Trevor Project is really good. Trans Equality, Stonewall, and other trans and non-binary inclusive resource centers. Yeah, I love this piece because it just, it's nice to have that. Oh, there's a cat here. Look at that. Hi, there's a cat here. What if I showed you down here? Whoa, I'm a cat. I'm a cat. Yeah, cat table. There. He's loving this right now because he's normally not allowed up here. He knows better. Good boy. Good boy, Ash. Okay, let's go through another one. Oh yeah, this one's really cool. This one's called "It's Never Hugh Late." There you go, bud. So this is an actual, this is a collective compendium of a group of students at the Alberta University of the Arts. These folks were um, all in the character design and illustration program at the Alberta University of the Arts here in Calgary. They called themselves the Eat Paint Collective. So the difficult thing here is, boy, there are so many people involved in this. Mouse Brown is one of them, as well as quite a few others. So all these people, you have Carmen, John, Mouse, Casey, Ian, Meho, Clarice, Michaela, Cy, Nick, Emily, and Eric are all a part of this collective. So that's unfortunately too many for me to put. Can I possibly put them all in here? Can I possibly put them all in here? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that last one. And so Mouse also has a piece in this one as well. Let's take a quick look at Mouse's piece, and then we'll look at some of the other ones. And maybe what I'll do is I'll show each of theirs out one by one. Page 9. Here we go. So this is Mouse's stuff here. Here's somebody talking to a giraffe. Wow, you're so young. I thought you were like 26. Ew, no, I'm not fucking old. And then they go, the little monkey on their shoulder comes out and goes, you're 27. It's called perspective. And then they did this cool piece here. So that's Mouse's stuff. Let's take a look. So what I'll do is I will put each person's information on as we look at their pages. And it's never Hugh late. I'm going to do a quick read through of the opening they have here. Greetings, time traveler. You have stumbled upon a relic from the year of 2022, the second zine anthology collection by the Eat Paint Collective. It's never Hugh late. The Eat Paint Collective is a cohort of young artists who have come together once again to create a zine publication that will persist throughout the ages. Through a global pandemic and a readjustment to a new normal, we have worked together to build a community of artists and friends that we can share, laugh, and make amazing works of art with. In this zine anthology, we will be exploring the concept of time and all its intricacies in a weird, fun, and exciting way. We hope you enjoy our collection of images and writing from whatever time and place you may be in. So this talks about each one of them. It has a quick bio on every single person. The first one we're going to look at is Carmen. And these, like I said, they're all folks in the either character design or illustration or print media, or what else are they in? Animation at Alberta University of the Arts. Cool folks, very cool folks, showing a lot of get up and go. I tell you, when I was in college, I wasn't doing a whole lot of side stuff. Okay, so this is Carmen's, who you can follow as I have there at nerdy_arty_. On nights when I can't sleep, I imagine what it would look like, what it would be like to talk to a younger version of myself. I'd update her on how things have progressed over the years and where we are currently. The thing is, I never know what she'll say. I think I know one thing for sure. She'd hate that we gave ourselves blunt cut bangs. Pretty cool. So that's Carmen's. Now we're going to look at John. Boy, these kids have the toughest Instagram handles. So John is O_JA_Y. And did this spread here. We've got this sort of decapitated demon. And you, says here, you died there. That day the seed was planted. First your mind was overwhelmed, yet your body still animated. Now a host to toxic fibers, twisting and knotting with you and your own. There's no room for those thoughts and desires. You're no longer alone. Over time the growth had spread. The once labeled parasite, no longer distinguishable from your form. Don't worry, your journey now has a co-pilot. You won't even notice. I'm right here. These kids got chops, I'll tell you. They're very good. There's Mouse is one we just went through. Now we're jumping to Casey, who you can find at Ren _ in _ a _ house. Ren. Oh, sorry, not with an M, with an N. Ren in a house. Look at this. Wow. Wild. They each just did a single spread. Yeah. Look at this. Amazing, amazing transformation into a werewolf. Beautiful. This illustration in particular, I really, really like. The one that, like, the way they've done the fur, it almost looks silken. And the teeth standing out against that. Oof. This is some good stuff. Some good stuff there, Casey. Let's look at Ian now. Okay, Ian. Find you at X Silent X. Oh my God. These kids have the hardest Instagram handles for me to. It's not that hard once you see it out though. So it's X Silent X Artist X. So silent artist with X's. Everything. Instagram. It's tough to find a hand. The rise and grind. There's somebody just trying to hang on here. The rise and grind. This would appear somebody doing some DoorDash or some Uber Eats. You got this. It's just until next check. Tough it out. Don't stop. Keep going. You have to do this. Just listen to the podcast. Only a few more orders. Just sleep in tomorrow. Only 1 week until with no break. 2 energy drinks for $5. I'm tired. You've been driving for 12 hours. Your next order is $4. No tip. And this really cool character illustration. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, it comes out okay. Cool symbols behind them. Very cool. Next was Meho. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize if that's the case. You can follow them at HAKYGTU9. Awesome character illustration here. Once again, playing on the idea of time. You've got this sort of mathematics and time traveling explorer. And a common, if you've got a pet, this is a pretty common thing where at some point you have to agree that yes, it's lunchtime before the pets start bearing down on you. My cats will only take so much. Okay, we're going to look at Clarice now. You can follow them at Clarice Hopeful. This one's entitled Time to Be Wildin'. I love this movie. I remember seeing it when it was in theaters. Did you know that movie turns 24 this year? I feel very seen with this one. There's lots of stuff where that's been happening where like, oh yeah, I love this song. I love this album. And they're like, did you know that song came out 18 years ago? Okay. The next one is Michaela, which you can find at Dixon_digital. Two very beautiful character portraits. So I'm working with a lot of cool it's like a weird like dichotomy, like a duality. Beautiful work. And a really like excellent use of light. There's like a lot of bloom. Yeah, well, I get that when I look at how much I've aged. But yeah, definitely you look at an old film and you're like, man, that act boy, Leo sure doesn't look like that anymore. Next is Psy, who you can follow at Dumatics. This is cool because I like tarot stuff. Because Michelle is quite into tarot, so I'm also by proxy interested in tarot. Here's card number 12, the Hanged Man. Just awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, the Hanged Man. In this case, hanging by his foot. What's next? Nick. Oh, Nick, yes. Nick does not have an Instagram, I do not believe, but they have an art station. I'm just going to put this right up here. Art station. Let's put this artstation.com/L800no. Have you or would you like to design your own tarot? Well, there's a little inside tip for you. Michelle, so my partner, has been working on what's called an oracle deck, and I'll be doing all the artwork for that on stream. So that's later this year. It was possibly going to start happening this summer, but the research grant I got with Gord to do research for our next comic collaboration has put some things out, and then I also have that continuity background performance role I'm doing all throughout the rest of the fall for a new TV show, and then hurting my back. We'll see what happens. But yes, I would like to design a deck, but I'm going to be doing it in tandem with my spouse. So yes, they have a deck that I'll be doing for that. So this is, what did I say, Psy? I think it was Psy, wasn't it? Or is this Nick? This is Nick. Once again, two beautiful portraits. I love this one. I really like this one. Hey, no worries, Mapricot. Really good to see you. Michelle does not draw. Is not an artist and does not draw, which is why I get to be a part of it. So it's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to designing those cards. So she's doing the writing. So she has all the writing done, just about. And I will be designing cards around those and doing all the artwork. And that's gonna be super fun. And we'll probably end up selling that. I love this. This like basically like the moon or another planet or something like crashing to Earth. Really cool. We got two more here. We got Emily and Eric. So we're gonna look at Emily now. Emily is at Neokai. Is that how you say that? Neokai. We've collaborated on some stuff, but this is like I've done a lot. I do a lot of video work for Michelle. for her private practice as a counselor. I do a lot of we build courses and build YouTube content and things like that. So I do a lot of that work for her, as well as other like visual projects. This is the first really big though like more artistic project. I consider this to be a more artistic project than what we've done previously, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be coming down to figuring out a good look and feel for everything, though, and then applying consistency across it. So I look at it as a really cool design challenge, as well as illustration challenge. It's going to be fun. My Huion drawing tablet is going to get a lot of use. It's great. Look at these. These are awesome. It's like a teddy bear's picnic with someone doing the splits to hold. It's like a little bit of Mad Hatter. It's like a Mad Hatter along with Teddy Bear's Picnic. And beautiful. And these beautiful illustrations. Ah, so nice. So nice. Okay, and last but not least is Eric, who you can follow at l.curlyfry. Curlifry, l.curlifry. Look at that cool spread. Old medieval sort of warrior, time warrior, versus the digital space warrior. Very nice piece. Yeah, I was really impressed with these youngsters, with what they put together. It's got that really nice silk laminate on it too. Like I said, I'm a bit of a pervert for really cool print techniques and stuff. They got this beautiful silk laminate. Just feels so good. Oof. Very nice. Nicely produced. Really nicely put together, really nicely produced. Okay, where are we looking at on time? Let's do... Ooh, should I do these now or should I save these for later? Oh. Tell you what, we're going to do this one. This is the one we're going to do. This is really cool. I can't wait to show you this one. So this is a very, very interesting one in that the creator of this, the Reshapelings, Nicole, was doing some of this stuff as sort of like a counseling and therapy technique. So some of the stuff that they've been exploring with the Reshapelings is using art writing and zine creation as a way to reach people on sort of like a neurological level, and doing some really cool stuff. This is printed really nicely as well. So yeah, this doing some cool tricks that what I liked so much about this is reminding me of some of the tricks we were doing back when I was in college years ago, where we were, you were putting this stuff right onto the glass of a Xerox machine and manipulating it while doing copies and things to do the art. We were doing that sort of thing back in 1990. And so this was cool to see that somebody doing this now. Yeah, because this was stuff that we were doing back then and we were feeling like we were pretty cutting edge. But it just shows how it's still got the power. Like when you put something on the glass, even of your scanner you might have in your office or your school or your workplace, and you manipulate it on the plate and glass as you scan something or as you do copies, you effectively, you're it's almost like doing a brush stroke. So you can take, especially when you've got the written word, you can adjust it in such a way that you get movement and action to it, which is very cool. And also doing these cool you know, taking photography and doing the same thing. I wish I could find some of the artwork I was doing back then. I may have it someplace. I should find it at some point and do some self promotion with that stuff of the stuff I was doing on Xerox machines at the time. I did this one really cool piece where it's my arm grasping itself in a pretty, what you see now is a pretty common thing where I had it in so an arm here holding this one, an arm here holding, and then my arm holding here again in a triangle shape. And that was all done with a Xerox, pardon me, with a Xerox machine, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you just get this sort of more like what they call concrete poetry. You know, it's approaching concrete poetry, where you're taking the words and making them an artistic visual on top of having the what they're trying to convey. Yeah, just really cool stuff. Like, I've been seeing some really amazing stuff, particularly from indigenous artists. I've seen more than one indigenous artist in Canada play with the idea of indigenous beadwork being abstracted and blown up to such a point and repeated and run over itself to create almost kaleidoscope effects. Um, and it's incredible when you see that. It's so clever, and it reminds me of this sort of manipulation. Yeah, that amazing. So there's like a cutout like classical image in here. Nicole is really cool. Oh, I need to put Nicole's. Do I have Nicole's information? I might. I'm not sure that they had anything on Instagram. Let me see. No, I don't think I do have anything from. Oh, yes, I do. Let's see. No, that's not them. Nope. Neither of those people are the right person. Okay. I unfortunately don't have any way to follow them other than, let me see, if we search for Reshapelings. No. There's a website here though. Let's do this. Here we go. You'll find some information here at this address. So reshapelings.wixsite.com. And I think you actually need that. Yeah, and you're going to need that / my dash site dash 2. You need that. It's all very important. But yeah, cool stuff. The website's super cool and kind of trippy as well. Yeah, Nicole is doing very neat stuff. And oh yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna show the website here because I wanted to show off some of the work that Nicole was doing with the reshapelings. So this one was called Asterion. They also have another one called The Stage, and then also some really amazing these artworks, these reshapelings artworks are really cool as well. I think this one's my favorite. Look at that. So awesome. So awesome. It almost looks like, you know, almost like brain tissue, but it's breath. Ugh, amazing stuff. Yeah, Nicole was cool. Okay. You know what? That's where we're actually going to stop for the night, I think, unless I can find like one or two other very small ones. Like I was saying, I want to do more of these sort of deeper dives into the people stuff that I have, and show you more of it, and focus on less things overall. Asterion, very cool piece. I didn't manage to get my hands on their other one called Stage, and I kick myself all the time about that. But it looks like I can pick it up through the website. The Stage was the other one. Yeah, because I want to go through this one next time. I'll give you just a quick look. This is work by an astounding creator by the name of Gillian Fleck called Double Digest. It's Canada's favorite teen cannibal comic. We're going to go through that next time because I'm excited to go through. I think it's 5 issues I have of Double Digest. It's so good. I did make some zines on movies. Galloway, what you're going to want to do is check out the VOD from the last episode of this. It was from June 22nd. It has some flagrant self-promotion at the beginning where I actually do a pretty detailed flip through of all, what is it, 3 or 4 of them? How many do I have? I got Blade Runner, Die Hard, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is that it? That might be it. But yes, check out the VOD from that last one, or find my YouTube channel, which is down there because I have it up on YouTube as well. Follow me on YouTube, guys, or don't. I don't know. It's mostly me posting stuff from here. Let's see. Do I have another? You know what? Let's show this one. Let's end it with a showstopper. This is from the same event in which I got a couple of those last things I've shown you, which was a really cool zine market. This for me was my zine of show. It's called Soft Sugary Meat, and it's by Sarah Van Slotten. It's amazing, and I'm going to show you more of it as soon as I get Sarah's Oh, so Sarah's made it very easy for us. Sarah has made it very easy for us. Now, Sarah is cool. Once again, multidisciplinary artist. Um, they work in photography. They work in drawing and writing. They work in fabrics. They work in papercraft. Everything. Just everything. Very talented. And Soft Sugary Meat, I love so much. And anybody who is aware of this one reminded me quite a bit of Giant Bomb and the infamous cake in a toilet video they did. So Soft Sugary Meat very much applies to some beautiful cakes being horribly mutilated, disused, abused, disemboweled, and etc. I'm gonna have to come in pretty close here. In this very first montage, we have a cake set against a door, and then someone comes through the door and squashes it, and it gets stuck to the door. This would make a great flip book, by the way. Sarah, if you do watch this, I love this scene so much. Let's read this. We lit it on fire and another person put it out, and right now we're all craving that soft, sugary meat. It's white and rectangular and just that perfect, satisfying shape. Did I hear someone was worried there wouldn't be enough? Somebody get a picture of it. There's an overcrowded design on the top, but we are forgiving about how it looks. It's made with icing that will stain your mouth, and later, after you've forgotten you ever ate any, you'll frighten yourself momentarily while looking in the bathroom mirror. And then you see wonder a wonderful group of images. Here's somebody leaning on a cake with their elbow, and then shown from the other. This was absolutely like, I got such amazing zines at the show, but this is the one that was like my showstopper. Just these cakes, just used and abused, thrown on the ground, smushed out, just taking that soft, sugary meat. And here we go, a cake above a toilet. You know what comes next. Here's one closed in a it's somebody's fetish. I don't know whose. Maybe it's mine. I don't know. Maybe it's awakening something in me. This one getting closed in a automatic garage door is very good. It's showing the aftermath and the gore that's stuck to the bottom of the garage door. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here's a play-by-play of it being it's closed in the garage door, and then as the door slowly opens back up, and it like wrenches that soft sugary meat from its form. It's it's like torture porn for cake. Does that make sense? Here's one that's been mushed through a chain link fence. It's it's very good. So you see somebody walked up with it and just kind of like that's the most dignified way I can explain it. Just kind of smushes it. Just kind of smushes it right through a chain link fence. And it's awesome. This one, it would appear to me, has been taken and then spun very quickly so that it just kind of centrifugally comes apart. And here's one being tossed down what appears to be a porta john. That appears to be a portable toilet that's being unceremoniously flipped into. Here's one that has come to rest between a tree and a piece of concrete. I love that there's almost always a second view of it. It's a waste, but in the interest of art, I mean, I would have liked to have eaten all these cakes before they got destroyed, but it doesn't always work out that way. Here's one in a very dirty utility sink found in what appears to be an abandoned house. It's very good. It's this one, and I don't like, maybe it is awakening something in me because I never would have thought of it, but it was just I looked at this thing and I laughed, I cried, I shouted, I mourned for cake, both the death of cake and the loss of not eating the cake. It's very good. Sarah Van Sloten. So check out their stuff. Their feed is really cool. You'll see what a wide variance of cool stuff that Sarah's doing if you take a look at. I think Sarah also does some art with their kids, which is cool. I believe that Sarah has a couple kids, at least one, and they do a lot of cool stuff with their kids as well, which is very neat. And one really cool thing as well is if you're going through Sarah's Instagram feed, you'll actually find some work that they did with ink created by the superstar Gillian Fleck. The other thing about Gillian Fleck is they make their own ink and sell ink, and it's amazing stuff. Okay. I just want to destroy something beautiful, says Spera. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that's the whole, and when you think about birthday cakes, they're ridiculous. Like that opening preamble that I read, show like it's ridiculous what we do. We light these things on fire, somebody puts it out, and now we all crowd around salivating. What a weird thing. We're very strange creatures. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you to all the artists. Thank you, Spera Era, MVP tonight, for doing that wonderful zine swapsy with me. And like I said, if you know somebody who's got something they want to share and maybe they'd like to get something back from me, I'm happy to do a zine swap with somebody anywhere in the world. I will trade zines with absolutely anybody. I will send them anywhere in the world that you'd like. No distance is too far. Hell, I'll send them up to the ISS. I'll give old Elon a call. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Comix Zone. Thank you for checking these out with me. It's just amazing to see what people make. I'm so inspired by this stuff.